Hello and welcome to Affinity. In this series we're looking at the use of selective color in color grading, which is changing the color of an image, and in particular by emphasizing some colors over others. And now we're looking at triadic ones, and which basically means three colors. And we'll do that with starting here with adjustments and go to selective color. And you'll see why I've got four color circles here at the moment, because there's a basic one that goes to fades to white, one fades to grey, and one fades to black. And we uncheck the relative here. And so if we want to focus on the reds, so we start with here, it selects reds, so it's selecting this area up here. And then we turn up the magenta and see the way that's effectively increasing the amount of red focus here. And so what effectively saying is what was orange before, turn this up, it's now going to be more red. And similarly with yellow, I can turn up this one here and it'll focus on that side. Something to look at here, which is watch this one here, which is the darks, because if I go to the top one here, if I turn this one down, see the way that the dark amount in here is going down. So what effectively is happening is any colours that were dark red are becoming basically more saturated red. So it's effectively doing away with the darkness. And this is a choice of whether you want that to happen. Whether something, for example, that's like a face that's in shadow, you see more of the colour of it. Then you can just do the same here. Let's just leave that out for the moment. So I'll go to the greens. And this effectively, these are all of course red, green and blue, but it's sort of backwards. So the cyans we turn up, and the yellow, and see where the green now is increased. And do the same here with blues, as watch the blues here as I turn up the cyan and the magenta. You can see here the way now we've got a colour wheel which is largely red, green and blue. And that's just going to pull out that emphasis, so you're going to make more red, green and blue in an image. So I'm just going to call this RGB and Control C to copy it, go to another image and Control V to paste it. And you can see immediately the before and after that the colour is coming out more, it's pushing, you're seeing more RGB. And if you blend it, you can get more of an effect with this. So for example, if you go to overlay, you get a very strong colouring effect. When this sort of thing happens, you're going to want to reduce the opacity to something that's a bit more natural. You can also go to any of the other blend modes, so soft light will make that a bit softer and so on. You can also come down to something like colour, which will just take the colour from the top one, and again before and after you can see there's more RGB in here. It's pulling the yellows, for example, more towards the red, and pulling the cyans are being split between the blue and the green. So let's go back to the one before and change this to CMY. So we can put the emphasis on the cyan, magenta and yellow. So we reset it, uncheck the relative here, and we can just go to the yellows here and say let's turn up the ones which are not yellow. Which way? That way. You find out quickly when you do it if it's one way or the other way. There you are, you've got a lot more yellow now. And go to the cyans, and so it's not the cyan, control the other ones, and we turn those down, which exposes more of the cyan, and the magenta, not the magentas, we turn those down, so we're taking out the cyan there and the yellow. So now what we've got is a lot more cyan, yellow and magenta. So if I take this, Control C, copy this, go here, I'm going to turn this one off, and Control V to paste it. Now look at the way that you've got that cyan, yellow, magenta coming out more. So the sky will appear more cyan, very clearly the yellow here in the foliage is coming through, so you're getting more of a yellowish hue here, which was you'll use typically when you're doing a more springtime, for example. The leaves are more yellow there. And again, you can adjust this, but what you can also do is you can turn several on at once. So I can have the RGB one and the CMY one, and then I can turn them differently. So I can take the CMY, turn this one down a bit, and the RGB one, so I can put it into a blend mode I like. So I've got more controls which I'm applying at the same time. I'm going to turn those off now. I'm going to do one more, which is, I'm going to say, call it black lines. And the reason for that is I'm going to reset this, and when I get to the reds here, so I'm just focusing on this red area here, if I go to the black at the bottom, see how I can get black there, I can also get white. So I'm going to get black, go to greens, turn that up black there, and blues, and turn up the black there. So now you can see the focuses are on the secondary colours, and particularly it's taking out, putting black into the red, green and blue. So if I Control C to copy that, come over here, take out those two there and paste that one in there. Now look at the way this goes from before to after. See, it's putting more black into it. And again, I can take something like an overlay or maybe a soft light. Oh, what does colour look like? No, not so much, because maybe the luminosity is going to do it. So we play around with that. Let's just say soft light for now. But also again, I can bring these in as well. So I can have different effects from the other ones. Again, if it's too much, you can always turn down the opacity, and you can always group them and turn down the group opacity. Anyway, that's it. Thank you very much for watching.